welcome back to a brand new episode of NH Unscripted. I am your host, Ray Dudley. I got the Nehru jacket on. Yeah, it's sky blue. Kind of matches my eyes. We are coming to you from the YMCA-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. My God, I can smell the pool chlorine all the way over here. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios in Concord. 101.9 FM for those beautiful souls of Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Lots goes on out there, just giving you a heads up. Well, let me read something to you here and tell me how your mind can put this together, and then I'll introduce my guest. If someone said to you, imagine the Muppets performing the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I get that in an email. I'm like, oh, wait, what's going on here? What the heck? Josh Gross, the, I assume, producer, director, writer, whatever, all of the above for this show. Good morning, Josh.
Oh, good morning, Ray. Glad to be on the show.
Oh, man. Oh, this is wild. This is wild. So you were with the group called Puppeteers for Fears, right?
Puppeteers for Fears, yeah.
Okay. Give us the whole genealogy. Where the heck did this come from?
Well, I'll give you the backstory on Puppeteers for Fears. I grew up playing in rock and roll bands. Okay. And it was just, that was always all I really wanted to do. I actually grew up in Ashland, Oregon, which is a big theater town. If you don't know, it's the home of the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. So there's always a ton of, actors, and you're just really immersed in theater. But at the time, growing up, I don't think I saw a play more modern than Death of a Salesman, which I always say even Mitt Romney would consider a little dry and dusty. And, when I went off to college, I signed up for what I thought was a screenwriting course because I realized part of what I really liked about music was songwriting. And I signed up for what I thought was a screenwriting course, and it turned out to be a stage writing course, but it was too late to drop the class and still keep my financial aid, so I was stuck in the stage writing course. I was like, oh, no, what do I do?
Interesting.
But it turned out to be really great because I just was surrounded by all these modern playwrights, and I just got really fascinated by theater. It's the first time it's ever happened. So I got really into writing plays, but since my background is in music, it was always in my head somewhere. So I just loved to try to write a musical. But, anytime I'd see something like West Side Story, I thought it was so corny. There's just like, oh, okay, we're going to knife fight now. I don't know. Ooh, okay, it didn't buy it. So I was kind of like looking for this idea that like I felt like it needed to have something that would work where you wouldn't question the music.
Okay.
And I spent a couple years living in Boise working for a newspaper. And while I was there, a friend of mine ran a theater company called Homegrown Theater. She asked me to write something for a Halloween show they were putting together. And what she said was, okay, we're going to do a series of short, scary puppet shows for Halloween. And at first I was like, I don't know about that. And then it just suddenly popped into my head, horror puppet musical. If you put all three of those things together, it's so shark-jumpingly ridiculous that no one will question any individual element of it. The moment it's like, that's it, I'm in. It can't get any stranger. Let's see where this goes. And once you kind of have the audience there. So I wrote this little short piece for that, and it went really well. So I did it again the second year, and I had plans to do it the third year. I'd already written the piece, and the songs and everything. And then I ended up moving away. So it never got produced. And a little while later, I moved back home to Ashland, where I grew up. And I had this third unproduced piece. I was just like, man, it's a bummer. This isn't just sitting in a desk drawer. It'd be fun to do this thing as maybe we do all three of them as a trilogy or something like that, just or one night only, just so I could say, great, that's done. I can move on with my life. And, but I didn't know anyone to be in it at the time. And I was out at a bar with a friend of mine talking about it, going like, oh man, I don't know any actors because I just moved back to town. Uh-huh. And then I looked over at the bar, and ordering a drink at the bar was this actor I'd seen in a show. And I just thought, well, you know what? I thought she was great in this show. I've had like 3 drinks. Let's give this thing a try. And I went over and I tapped her on the shoulder, and I think she thought I was trying to pick her up, but I was like, started talking to her about my puppet show. Classic opening line for, someone. Yeah. And by dumb luck, it turned out she had taken the 1-term puppetry course that they were offering at the local theater college. To prepare for a production of Avenue Q. So I just tapped the right person on the shoulder by just pure luck. she called a couple of her friends from the course, got together, and we did this, what was supposed to be a one-night only show in this tiny little place that seats like 30 people, and about 160 showed up. And then 160 showed up the next night, and
what?
the next night.
Yeah.
I mean, it was wild. I've never seen anything like this. It was people sitting 4 deep on the floor, and when they laughed, the room shook. It was actually quite dangerous and terrifying. But at the end of it, every single person, or not every single person, but like most of the people we talked to, at least 10 people that I talked to afterwards, all said the exact same thing. They all said, thank you for doing anything different. And because they, like myself, had grown up under this sort of, this kind of, this very prestigious, very high quality Shakespeare productions, but it makes you feel very much like you don't have a culture of your own. Like, you know, like I called it plays written by dead people starring actors from New York for audiences that drove in from California. And, you know, if the idea of art is to reflect society so that we can look into that reflection and say, is this a good look or not? We would never really got the chance to do that because what we were seeing is a reflection of, you know, Europe in the 1500s. And so there's a point where you just felt like you didn't have any culture of your own. And then we came out and we did this weird puppet show and everyone's like, this somehow, these are people I know doing a show that they made about the things that they see around them. This is it. This is the thing. And so they just said, thank you for doing anything different. We're like, all right, I guess this is what we do now. And, you know, so we just kind of kept at it. You know, it's been 10 years now, and it just still keeps going. Still keeps I would say it's so complicated. Yeah, it's so complicated. Every time I'm like, you guys, this could be the last one. You never know, but it just keeps working. So we're still here.
Why don't you give us a URL before we go too deep here and talk a little bit about when you're going to show up here in New Hampshire?
So our website is puppeteersforfears.com. I know it's hard to remember the name and the website at the same time, but that's how you keep that one together. We're going to be in New Hampshire. Hold on, I actually have to pull up the date because I'm totally unprepared.
Oh, that's all right. July 7th? Is that what it is?
That sounds right. You say that's right? That sounds right to me. Oh, no. No, that's actually, no, it's July 14th. Boy, it's a good thing we looked that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're professionals.
July 14th. Yeah.
Don't try this at home.
Sorry. July 14th, we're going to be at the B&H stage at the Capitol Center for the Arts in Concord. We played there the last time we were on the East Coast, and it was such a good time. That's such a beautiful stage.
Yeah.
Like every time when we actually get together to kind of start the productions, we always go, part of our, sort of round the circle introductions for the new people is always just like, all right, tell us what show you're most excited for. And at least 2 people said the Concord show specifically because it's such a beautiful stage at that theater. So
yeah,
we're very excited to come back to this.
Yeah, we're anticipating it's going to be great. It's really going to be great. The cast that you have, how did you pick all those? But first of all, how many people are in the show?
We're going to be bringing 12 with us. 12. So it's a pretty big show.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it a mix of puppets and people? For folks who kind of don't know, is it all puppets? Are they good?
Yeah, no. So our crew is we have 6 puppeteers, 3 musicians, and then 3 tech crew people that we're traveling with. And we are very specific about having no human characters in the show. We want everything to be puppets, and there's a couple reasons for that. But the biggest one is just that we really want you to sink into the illusion. And, the moment you have a person there, it sort of like throws everything off. It sort of brings you out of it a little bit.
Yeah,
and
kind of breaking that fourth wall, right? Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. And it's interesting because I always say that like puppets sort of exist in this between space where they're both a simulation and reality, because we all look at them and we go, I know this isn't real. I know this is a puppet. But also people start to see it and you're like, oh, okay, but it's taking on the role of being alive. And you sort of, at a certain point, you start to accept it. But the thing that really makes that work is if you create this sort of context for people to sink completely into the world. So we make sure that we have no other characters, like to sort of make them seem less alive by, in content relation to. And it's really fun because at a certain point, people just sort of sink into the illusion and into the penny, into the pound. And I think that really matters with the show specifically that we're going to be doing. This time, we're doing a piece about artificial intelligence and called Robopocalypse, the musical. It's a sort of cyberpunk science fiction piece, and we think it really matters because, a lot of this show has to do with, virtual reality and sort of simulated reality and, artificial consciousness and these sort of things where they do also exist in this between space. So we think that, like, puppetry is both a really great medium to explore that and also a way to sort of then, it gives you this opportunity to then address some of these things that our civilization is sort of very suddenly dealing with that we were not expecting to, in a sort of softer way that makes them more approachable.
Yeah, good point. It's also, people accept things a little bit easier, too, if you're trying to, like, get a point across. They're much more apt to take it from something that is not human, I guess. I don't know how to put that.
A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, as Mary Poppins once said.
Exactly right. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
My friends, you are listening to NH Unscripted. We are coming to you from the Hollywood Square Light Digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. I love sitting in that center square. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony transistor radios. Man, maybe a Sony Walkman. 101.9 FM for those beautiful souls in Manchester. Jeff Gross from the Puppeteers for Fears is on the line. They're coming to New Hampshire again. We got some more questions for them. We will be right back. My friends, you are back listening to NH Unscripted. I know it doesn't sound like an oldie, does it? But hey, we got to roll with the punches here, baby. We are coming in the dating game like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony Walkmans. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Josh Gross is on the line from Puppeteers for Fears. They're coming into Bank of New Hampshire stage here July 14th. Get your tickets. It looks hilarious. Josh, tell us a little bit about that song for a second.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so the show we're doing this time out is called Robopocalypse the Musical. It's a piece of cyberpunk science fiction around artificial intelligence, and it sort of is about our sort of. And one of the things that we like to do a lot is center a lot of our stories in very real human emotions, and we think that the puppets help make those things land in really interesting ways, and a lot of times that has to do with family stories. And this story is about this takes on a slightly different tone now when I say it than it did when I first wrote it, but an Elon Musk type character, just a sort of like very larger than life kind of tech entrepreneur. And his first attempt at making a self-driving car, there was a car accident and his wife died. And when that happened, he and his daughter stopped being able to really talk to one another because they're both processing their grief very differently. And she's trying to figure out how to get him to notice her. And he's trying to sink into work in order to not have to sort of face his trauma. And they're both kind of working on artificial intelligence individually as a way to try to reach the other one. And what ends up happening is the sort of collective product of their two different works is what ends up accidentally birthing this artificial intelligence that sort of ends up going off the rails. But the song you just heard, as we were sort of playing into this, that's our lead character, Jolie Daniels. That's her sort of what we call like the I Want song, which is basically she's trying to figure out how to like, get things back to when they were good. She wants to reboot her family. And so she's trying to, create this tech product that will so dazzle her father that he'll see her again, rather than just sort of looking past her in his grief.
I'm looking at the cast, the character names: Broadband Link Toaster.
Yeah.
Spam bot. Oh, you're killing me. You guys had to have had a ball writing this, right? I mean,
oh, I did. It was so fun. I grew up in the 80s, and Tron was one of the first things I have a very memory of just breaking my brain in two. And I've always wanted to do a piece like this. And historically, we'd done a lot more classic horror and sort of like pulp, and this was really fun because we got to play with all this tech stuff. And I specifically wanted the score to be written on synthesizers, and I did not play the synthesizer at the time, so I had to like teach myself to play synthesizers just to write all the music for this show. And but it was just, we had so much fun with it, and it's got opened up all these possibilities and different things that we can do. It's a really dazzling show.
Man, I was looking at the YouTube link you had sent me. Your audiences just absolutely adore the show.
This is my theory, and I've never done quantitative data on this. So like, it's really just, what I get from talking to people. But I feel like people grew up loving like the Muppets and other things like that. But a lot of times, the material didn't age with them. So like, especially the Muppets, especially became more and more of a children's property as time went on. Whereas originally, like Jim Henson actually originally pitched the show as the Sex and Violence Hour. Obviously, that's not what it became. But as it was purchased by Disney, it became more and more of a children's property. But I think people still wanted that art form, and they just didn't really realize that. And so when we came along, it's that sort of Steve Jobs quote of like, your goal is to give the audience what they want that they didn't even know that they want, and it's like this. So it's like they see this and they're like, I didn't even know that I wanted an adult horror puppet show musical, but here it is. This is the thing I've been waiting for my entire life, Yeah. Because it hits the nostalgia points, but it also brings them something new. But it also, because, we try to make these like real stories and we try to treat them very sincerely. It also, hits you right in the heart. I think a lot of people come in thinking they're just going to see maybe puppets making a few dirty jokes or something. And then they can leave out. You see people crying in the audience and they go, oh my God, I was not expecting that. And like, yeah, gotcha. And that's the point.
Who's your target audience, you think? Who, I know you said maybe folks who grew up in the 80s, but what's your demographic like? The actually?
Oh, it's everyone.
Yeah?
Oh, really? Like, I mean, it's definitely like people who are a little weird, perhaps, but like, but there's a lot more weirdos than people realize. But I mean, the audience is my mom's in her 80s, and she brings all of her friends to come see the show.
Seriously, wow.
People bring, kids come to see us all the time. I mean, the show's a little long for kids. We usually tell people it's not for kids, mostly because the show is 2 hours long and a lot of kids don't have the attention span for it. But I mean, like, we have kids kind of 8 and up coming all the time, and we've had whole birthday parties come to see us. Sometimes kids bring their own homemade puppets to the show.
Oh, come on, that's cute. Seriously.
It really is. It is precious. But it really is a kind of like, it's for anyone who likes a good show, and we're really making an effort to make it it's fun, it's funny, it's really touching and emotional, but also, and this is important to me because I grew up playing in bands, I want the songs to be good. So like, the goal is that we're trying to make a really good, rock concert that just happens to have like better between song banter,
Yeah. But, and that's an impressive point. The fact that you wanted to make sure the songs were not just trash, that nothing that you just whip out and, hope.
Yeah, it's kind of a difference in philosophy, and I get a lot of heat for this, but I just can't stand Stephen Sondheim, because to me it's like talk singing. Like anything to be a Stephen Sondheim song, you just have to go, well, hello, Ray. It is good to talk to you today. Something, something, something. And now we're on the radio.
Well, there goes half my audience.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I don't find that compelling, like, because to me, because it doesn't stand on its own. It only exists within the context. And I guess that is what some people like about it, is that it's very esoteric and you have to sort of be inside of it. But I'm, a songwriter by background and a musician by sort of trade. And I like a good pop song. I like a good hook. I want something where you leave singing the chorus. And, and to me, that makes the show land more, because if you can really find that emotional hook, that thing that really grabs people, it makes it land more.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important to me that the songs are really good. And we tend to have a more sort of traditional pop song structure with, like, verses and choruses and bridges and hooks, rather than just the sing talking or sort of meandering things. But it is but it is all still cohesive. I sort of say, like, we're like a band, but every album is a concept album.
Yeah. Do you find people when they leave wanting to buy, like, the music? Do they want to?
Oh yeah, we always sell the soundtrack.
You do at the show? Yeah, good for you.
Oh yeah. We always record and release the soundtrack, and we always bring it on tour with us. And we treat this very much like a band. Like I also say, like, one of the things that I think is interesting is that having grown up in, like, a real theater town, it felt very much like there was kind of this dividing line a little bit of, like, there was, like, the theater people and then the other people who were, like, the other kids. And what we wanted to do is basically say, well, what if we treated a theater project like a rock band, where it's like you buy the T-shirt, like a Motorhead T-shirt,
Yeah.
And we travel around and we tour in the same way. We usually play in music clubs, do that sort of thing, because we wanted to reach an audience that maybe thought theater wasn't for them.
Okay,
hang on. They've never been given a reason to like it. So we're giving theater fans something new and fresh they've never seen before, and we're giving music
that's a
fans.
beautiful thought. Hang on. We gotta come right back. Hang on.
All right.
My friend, you are listening. That's gold right there. You are listening to NH Unscripted. We have Josh Gross from Puppeteers for Fears on 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony Walkmans. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL, and I have a lot more questions for Josh. We will be right back.
Just me and my droid. But thanks to web connection, anything can be a weapon. There's nothing in this world still benign, and it's all trying to take my life. There's drones above and cameras below. There's weaponized appliances and video tombstones. Well, they're all controlled, they're all in sync, they're all to take me away. It's coming to take me away. Oh no. Machines now make the laws. There's nothing left still analog.
Dude, that is crazy. I love that synth stuff there, man. That's wild, Josh. Wild.
Oh, thanks so much.
Do you find audiences really leaning into it?
We really do. It's funny because the last time we were in New Hampshire, like we're going to be again on July 14th, but the last time we were there, we were doing a show called Cthulhu the Musical, which is based off a very famous horror story called The Call of Cthulhu by H.P. Lovecraft.
Yep.
And we like to do that show when we've never been somewhere before, because it, brings in audiences where they may be familiar with that, but they don't know us. And then the idea is that we do that, then we come back with one of our totally original pieces. But it's always a bit of a risk, because you never know who was just there, like just the Cthulhu stands, And we took this piece out on the West Coast last year, and we were just over the moon at how strong the reception was for it. I think I really do think this is our best show. It's the most sophisticated. It's got the most substance. And it's so funny and so strange, and the songs are so good. But also, we're living in this very strange moment where like what used to be science fiction is suddenly no longer fiction.
Yeah.
You know, like artificial intelligence was this sort of thing of fantasy, and now it's just in our pockets all of the time. And I think a lot of people are desperate for some sort of way to contextualize that, or some way to like make peace with it, or, you know, like have a little, you know, have someone like poke a little fun at it or something. And this is like, if there is, I keep saying to people, if there is a puppet show better suited to the age of AI and drone warfare than this one, I will literally eat my hat.
Yeah, I don't know if folks give the URL, because I want folks to go out and take a look at these puppets. They're crazy looking. They're so funny.
Yeah, so our website is www.puppeteersforfears.com. Right now, the front page of it should be all of our tour dates and links to buy tickets, including July 4th at the B&H stage in Concord. I'm so excited. Really, like, we had such a great time in Concord last time. It was one of our favorite shows of our 2024 tour, and we're so excited to come back and to be bringing you guys this show again. I think there's really a wonderful town, wonderful audience, and this is such a fun show. I really think you guys are going to like it.
I'm glad to hear that. I cut you off during at the end of the last segment. You were talking about how it's kind of for people who don't know they want to see a Broadway show, or they don't want to see theater, they don't think they like theater. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, like I said, I grew up playing in mostly in punk bands, to be honest, and the feeling was just that theater was very stuffy. And because that was partially because I hadn't seen any modern theater, but I always had this feeling of like it was for fancy people who could spend $150 on a ticket. It wasn't for me. That wasn't what I did. And it wasn't until I went away to college and saw sort of like more modern pieces that were written by my peers that sort of and were immediately and viscerally representative of the world that I lived in, where I was like, oh, I get this. This is like art that you're actually in a room with and you're feeling it. And part of our goal is to basically make theater for people who didn't yet realize that they liked theater. And part of that is to put it in places where they would go rather than the places they wouldn't expect. So a lot of times we go out on the road and we play a lot of rock and roll clubs. So sometimes we're on the same touring circuit as like some of my favorite punk bands. And it's really funny to be going to these places where you're like, oh, the Suicide Machines here are here in 2 days. And we're now, but first you get us, you know? And I love that because I'm getting to play some of the same touring circuit as my heroes, but we are so off on our own sort of wavelength. But it's great because people meet us there. They like the songs and they go, hey, you know what? This was a great play. I didn't realize this was something I could be into. But at the same time, we're doing a very solid theater production. And all of the theater people are like, oh my God, I didn't realize theater could be this exciting and vibrant, because they're used to it being kind of stuffy and you know, like overly serious. And we're there doing it in a weird space with louder music and a more boisterous presentation. But we're doing this with some world-class performers. I mean, like most of our cast came from a very prestigious acting school because that's just happened to live next door to it. And it was just this sort of basically anyone who's too weird for the university production, we'd be like, hey, come do this with us. And so we picked up this team of like, you know, this ensemble of like world-class performers. And, you know, from years of playing in bands, I've been able to sort of like cherry pick folks that I really love playing with. This time out, we have as a band from Reno, Nevada called Blunderbuss, who are both our opening act and they're our house band. And my gosh, they're so good.
Wow.
Their stuff is just phenomenal. And it's just a joy to be able to bring Blunderbuss out to audiences all over the country, and then also to be able to have them be the backing band for the show that we're doing, because it makes the whole thing it kicks like Chuck Norris, man. It's so good.
So, oh man, I have so many questions now. All right, I'm going to back up a second, and just between you and me and professionals here, do any of the cast rotate in and out? Because you've got a heavy schedule here. Did they ever get tired and like, man, I got to tap out here?
We all get tired. The thing about a tour like this is at a certain point, everyone is sitting on everyone else's last nerve, you know?
Yeah.
There's 12 of us in the van. But the thing is, and this sounds so dumb when I say it, but like to go all the way across the country, you have to literally go all the way across the country. And so it's like, it takes about 2.5 weeks to cross the country because you're playing shows along the way, and then about 2.5 weeks to get back. So there's no way to do this in less than like 6 to 8 weeks, basically.
Yeah.
And that's just what it takes. And if we were to swap people out, we would have to bring, there are people who would have to bring along with us. I mean, the goal has always been to have understudies as part of our road crew so we can cycle people in and out. But it's just, it's such a massive operation to bring it. Every extra person is, you know, an extra set of luggage and an extra set of gear and, you know, the whole thing. So we're really, all of this, and this is part of, I think, part of the appeal. All of this is like what I call a Jenga tower art, where the whole thing could come down at any second. And that's part of the beauty of it, is that it's a bit of a tightrope walk where you know it could go wrong, but that's where the really good stuff lives. I'll tell you a perfect story, and it's actually the first time we ever tried this show. This is a very early sort of workshop version of it. It was in 2018. And the show has a lot of interactive video elements. We have a projector that, and all the sets are digital projections, and the puppets have to interact with these videos a lot. And because of that, because it was so labor intensive getting the videos finished, they weren't done in the rehearsal process. So we'd just be going through the rehearsals. We'd do a scene and we'd be like, okay, and then there'll be a video here. Let's just jump to the next scene. And at a certain point, everyone was like, what are you this doesn't make any sense. And we're like, no, don't worry. We promise you it will.
Yeah.
Just wait,
Trust me. Yeah.
Just trust me. And it was like, we were literally, our media wizard, Aubrey Hollingshead, who does all of our video and graphic design, she was in the van editing the video as we were driving to the theater to load in for opening night.
What?
Really? So no one had actually seen the show. We did the dress rehearsal without any of the video backgrounds, and she's editing the videos to drive there, and we have a sold out full house. And I always do like some opening comments, and my opening comments were like, all right, guys, I really hope this works.
Oh my God.
And so we did the show, you know, and that was it. That was literally the first time anyone ever saw the complete show was on stage, the cast included. And my God, it was the most thrilling artistic performance of my life. We had so much fun.
That's impressive.
Because we had a little bit of that tight wire act, you know?
Ooh, yeah, hence the Jenga impression that you spoke earlier.
The Jenga tower.
Yeah.
But that happens a lot because our cast are all world-class improvisers, so they're known for just sort of like, if they see a gag, they just kind of veer off the script, and who knows if they'll come back or not, you know?
Oh, that's
you can see the show on stage every night, and it could be different.
You give them that much latitude?
I keep asking them to steer it back, but, you know, when it's funny, what are you going to do? Stop being funny. Stop entertaining.
No kidding.
No, you know?
Hang on. 1 block to go. My gosh, the time goes by so fast. My friend, you are listening to NH Unscripted. I know you know that. We are coming to you from the Gong Show like dates of the WKXL studios in Concord. No, I'm not the unknown comic. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Puppeteers for Fears is the show we're talking about here with Josh Gross. We will be right back. I have a lot of questions left. particular song is from a group called Blunderbuss, Monarch of the Mountain. My friends, you are listening to NH Unscripted. Yeah, this is what we do best. Yes, it is entertainment. Josh Gross from Puppeteers for Fears is on the line with us. Josh, what is the relationship that your group has with Blunderbuss?
We're just friends. It's interesting. They're going to be playing. Blunderbuss is going to be the opening act for our show Robopocalypse musical at the B&H Theater on July 14th, and then they also serve as the house band. And they're just a group that I was friends with, and I just said, "Hey guys, I think you're great. You want to come out and do this thing with us? I'd love to give you take you on a national tour because I think your stuff is so good. I want people to hear it."
Nice.
It was a really funny story how we met. We were supposed to play a show together in I think May of 2020. Obviously, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then we kind of kept rescheduling it, and then the COVID restrictions kept happening, and then eventually, when it finally happened, like 2 or 3 years later, we were like, all right, the pandemic is officially over because we finally played this show together, and then we were just good friends after that. And when the opportunity came up to bring them along on tour, it was great. Jen, the front woman for Blunderbuss, she's been with us for 3 tours now.
Wow.
And this time we're excited to we're bringing her bandmate Carson out so that they can do the full presentation. And it's such a wonderful sound. She's got such a beautiful voice, such a good songwriter, and Carson had such a nice atmosphere of guitar with great little tones there. And then when they bring all that into the puppet show with all the synthesizer-driven score that we've built for the show Robopocalypse the musical, my God, it's just a wonderful sound. It's so full and textural and driving, and it's really great. I really think it's going to. I think you guys really have a great time seeing the show on July 14th.
We're looking forward to it, man. I'll tell you. These this particular iteration, it's a year old. This Robopocalypse. Is that what? Mm-hmm. Did I get you right on that?
Robopocalypse the musical. So when we first started the company about 10 years ago, my collaborator and I, we sort of sketched out what we seasons. We're basically all right, let's do a 3-season plan. First season we'll do this, and then we kind of hit what are big sort of topics within sci-fi or horror that we'd really like to cover. And we did sort of aliens, monsters, classic monsters, atmospheric horror, and then I had one about always wanting to do cyberpunk. So this was one of the original pieces that I sort of sketched out as part of our early arc. And we did a version of it in 2018, back when cyberpunk was still very much science fiction, not, the phone in our pocket all of the time. And I don't think we were ready for it yet. I really enjoyed that production, but we were still kind of figuring a few things out. And it was solid, but it really felt like it was the proto version of it. And about when we did our last Cthulhu tour, the last time we were in New Hampshire, we were like, all right, guys, the time to do Robopocalypse is now. Artificial intelligence is suddenly this thing everyone is thinking about, and we want to do the show. But it was honestly so complicated. It took us a really long time to figure out how to do it, because it's our biggest cast we've ever had. It's our most complicated staging. It has something like 1,000 lighting cues in it.
Wow.
The synthesizer score was it's one thing to record synthesizers. Trying to play them on stage, it's not. I say sometimes it's not an instrument you play so much as a runaway train you're trying to hold on to. So it took a while to figure out how to do it, but that meant we had to kind of reinvent everything from the ground up. So we went back, we sort of redid the script, we cut one song, added another song, changed the ending entirely, and then I spent about almost 10 months trying to figure out how to transfer the score that I'd written into a stageable format. And I'm really glad we did all that, because the show is it really sings now. And it took a lot of work to get there. So this is if you saw it in 2018, this is a pretty different, in substance, it's the same show, but it's pretty different in final product. It's like a cake with and without frosting or something.
Yeah. Another great word picture. Before we get to the end of the show, can you give us your URL again and where folks can get the tickets from?
Absolutely. So our website is www.puppeteersforfears.com, just like our name. Obviously, our name doesn't have .com in it, but but the website is just like our name, and it has a list. It has a list right there of all of our tour dates right on front, including links to buy tickets. You should include link to get tickets for July 14th at the B&H stage in Concord, where we're going to be on July 14th with our opening act, Blunderbuss, whom you heard from just coming back from the break there.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
The puppets themselves, who engineers them? Who creates that? Because you've got such a wide variety here. It looks cool. Reminds me so much of Mystery. What is it? Mystery
Science Theater 3000.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, robot puppets. So our puppet maker is one of our longest term members, Alyssa Matthews. At the start of the show, we talked about our first. The original Puppeteers for Fears was supposed to be a one night only Halloween show, and it was just so popular that it kept going. And there was a gal who came to that one night only Halloween show named Alyssa Matthews. She was a local theater student, and she auditioned for our next show, and she's been with us ever since. So 9-10 years now, other than the 2 years that she took off to go to the University of Connecticut, which is the only Masters in Puppetry program in the United States. And so she came in just as a theater student and then left. This is it. This is, it's like all in on puppets. And she makes all of our puppets now. We had a different puppet maker before, but she's in head charge of it now. And this one's really interesting because since the robots are, they're made of different materials, that it meant that the puppet construction techniques had to go in some different routes as well. So they're very different than some of our other characters, which are more like, the human characters are oftentimes felt and foam. Yeah. And these are a lot more like harder materials. There's some plastics and some paper maches and a lot of interesting like metallic paints. And the hard thing is trying to then make them still feel alive because they have to be able to move. You have to get what's called sympathetic motion, where like when, the character doesn't just sort of sit there as like a still inanimate object. The whole goal is to make it come alive. And part of that is it has to be able to move and breathe and, flex and change. And so she did just a marvelous job. They have so much personality and character, and they're really just fun to look at, and
they're beautiful.
And it's a big part of the appeal of the shows. I mean, puppets in a lot of ways they're like interactive 3D sculptures, so that's just as essential a component as the performance itself.
Yeah. Josh, we reached the end. Please, one more time, my friend, give us the URL.
So we're going to be at the Concord in Concord at the B&H stage on July 14th. Puppeteers for Fears doing Robopocalypse the musical, cyberpunk science fiction. You can get tickets at www.puppeteersforfears.com. Really hope to see you there. Concord, we had such a great time there before, and I really think you're going to love the show.
Thank you, Josh. That, my friends, Josh Gross from Puppeteers for Fears. You have been listening to NH Unscripted. Ooh, yeah, the show is loaded. My goodness. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. So grateful for our audience. We really are. All right, I guess we're just going to catch you on the next one. Adios.